Hi everyone. Today I want to show you some things you can do on the stream option of Google Classroom. So I brought up my home page on Google Classroom and I'm going to go into my sample class, and you're going to see that on the sample class or on any class that you bring up, you're going to have this option to share something with your class. Now, we talked in the last video about how this page itself really could be used for just announcements and things like that, whereas the day-to-day assignments could be placed on the classwork tab. So that's kind of how I'm going to be explaining this. So first of all, I want to point out that if you have a post that you've already put somewhere and you just want to copy it, you can go to reuse post and you can find a post that you have put in a different class, and you can put that in here. It will bring it up. So if I were going to just reuse this one from May 10th, it's going to bring it up. It's going to allow me to change it, edit it, add things, just like I would a new post. You can also select all students and what class you want to be putting that into. But I'm going to start one just from scratch. So you just click here. And another good option here, when you click on the class that you're in, if you want to post the exact same thing to all of your classes, you just have to select which classes you want to post to. So if you have 3 sections of English and you want to post the exact same thing to all 3 sections, you just have to click those. You don't have to go in, reuse post, and post in each class. So that's a really nice option that I think they've added recently. Again, you can post which students you want this to go to. Now, I don't have students in this class, so it doesn't really show the options here, but normally if you have all of your students listed in here, you can pick and choose which ones you want this to go to. So if you're making an announcement for work that hasn't been done or somebody that needs to do something differently, for example, if you have kids doing hybrids and kids doing in class, and you just want to post for the hybrid students or the online students, you can choose those to receive the announcements, and not everyone will receive them. So here's where you just kind of type your basic announcement. So if I were to do just an introductory announcement here, I might say welcome to class. I might explain that there are some things you might need and that they're going to be listed here. So the add button is what I really wanted to focus on today. The 4 options that you have. The first option is Google Drive. So you can actually access anything within your Google Drive. I like the recent because a lot of times I'm working or updating an assignment and then it pops right up. You can upload something that you might have as a file. This also could be useful because our kids are on Chromebooks. And so if it is a file like a Word document, they might want to, it's going to open as a Google Doc on their computer. So this might be a good option there. You can go into your shared drives, starred. I might go into my drive. I have all my information there. Go into my psychology class, and I might find just a random document that I would post for them. So this might be, for example, a syllabus or something like that. And it's going to show up here. It's going to be named as you have it named. This is one that I scanned from the copy machines, and a lot of times they just name it with numbers. So it sometimes is useful to go in and rename those. I obviously didn't here. If this is a PDF file, it will post as a PDF file. If I were to go in and post a Google Doc, it will post as a Google Doc, as a Google spreadsheet, as a Google slide, whatever it is you've saved it as. This is a Google Doc. It's going to save it as that type of file. Links, these refer to web links. So if you have a website that you want students to visit, you can put the link in and then they just have to click on this and it will take them right to it. They don't have to worry about filling in the URL. So you just have to write the URL in here. So a lot of times I will have students go to the Iowa Central website because that's one that we access their Triton Pass. So I'll add that link and it's just going to come up as that link. So then you can just click on it and it will open that page for them. It also works a lot of times. I'll go in and just copy and then paste that URL in. That helps as well. And then you don't have to, again, remember the link. The third option is a file. So this would be a file on your computer, would be like a Microsoft Word document, an Excel document, a PowerPoint slide. So if you have those things and they haven't been converted into a Google file of some type, you can still upload those. So you can insert files using Google Drive. You can also drag and drop. You can find things in here that you can add to. And you can see these are all of the Word files. Mr. Ketchum sent our schedule out as a Word file, so that can be inserted in as a Word file. The last thing I have is a YouTube video. And again, these are nice. That way they don't have to go to YouTube and search it out. You don't have to worry about it. You actually, if you go into YouTube and you find a video that you like, you can go down to where it says share. You copy this URL, go back to Classroom, place that in and search, and you can find the video that you want. You then have to select the video, even if it only brings up one, you have to select it and then put add in there. You can also search it. So if I want a video on developmental psychology, I can search that and it's going to give me a lot of options. That way, if you know the title of what you're looking for, you could just put that title in. And then the last thing on here is you can just put the URL in. So sometimes I'll use TED Talks, and those will be on YouTube as well, but you need to put the URL for YouTube in there as well. Okay, so finally, when you get everything posted that you want, and it looks like you want it to look, then you can go over to post. If you want to post it right away and kids can see it right away as soon as you post it, then you just click post and you're good. If you want to schedule it, you can post schedule, and it will give you an option of the date and the time to schedule your post. A lot of times I would do this the night before and I would have it scheduled to post at 8 o'clock the next morning. This way, if students throughout the day wanted to know what we were doing in class, they could look on Google Classroom and see it. And it also gave some consistency. If you're doing several days, several weeks in advance, this is a great way to make sure that you're posting at a consistent time. You do have to be careful though. Make sure that you always check the date that it's posting. So right now I'm recording this on a Friday on the 31st, and this is scheduled for Monday to post. So if you want to post on a Saturday, you can do that. You just have to change it and it will make that change for you. But it sometimes likes to try to predict what you're going to be thinking. Oh, you probably don't want to post on the weekend, post on Monday. So it will anticipate what it thinks you want. And so you have to double check that. The other thing you can do is save draft. If you're working on it, you get pulled away, you know that you're not finished, you can just save that as a draft. And you can see up here it says you have a saved announcement. So when I'm ready to go back and work with that again, I can just click on it and I can continue to add to it and then post when I'm ready to post. By the way, this also works for the schedule option. So if I'm going to schedule it, you're going to see there is still that saved announcement. You can go in. It tells you when it's scheduled for. You can actually change the schedule time. You can make your changes to it. So if you have this scheduled and something comes up, we have a snow day or whatever, we release early, you didn't get to what you want, you need to change the time that you release this or what you've put on this to do, all of that can be changed at a different time. You also, when you schedule, you also get a notification that says your post has been, your scheduled post has been posted, and that lets you know that kids can see that. All right, next time we're going to talk about the classwork tab and some of the options that you can do in that area.